Heidi Rettig, and I'm here to tell you about some of the spiritual lessons I've learned through Facebook, in the hopes that it will help some of you prepare for the karmic paybacks you receive through social media. In a recent survey on religion in America, 40% of the population reported Oprah Winfrey was their spiritual leader. She has a kind of made-to-order faith that doesn't require loyalty to any particular church, and it is this level of faith that we're going to draw upon in the presentation tonight. And when I first joined Facebook, it was a pretty cozy experience. I became part of a community of friends, and it was a community that thought it was perfectly appropriate to blow off their work responsibilities to build a little green patch. I also Twitter as Heidi Rettig, but my connections there are a little bit more random. I follow about 150 people. The first person I met was Julie. And that's how I came to be on this stage here tonight. But I spend a lot of my more serious time over on Facebook, and that's where I manage my relationships with people I know pretty well. I've reconnected with a lot of old high school friends and college friends, and I even got married recently on Facebook, which was pretty exciting. My real life husband didn't have a Facebook page, so I busted into his email inbox and made one for him, and then I asked myself to marry myself and waited all day to see what I would say. Finally, after about 6 hours, I logged back in and I agreed to marry him, and I was so happy. He completes me. And the saddest part of that story is how excited I got about asking myself to marry myself. So you're going along and it's pretty fun, and then all of a sudden it happens. You get that friend request from those 3 circus twins you never, ever, ever wanted to see again. Or maybe your old coworker uploads photos from her hard drive of you drunk disco dancing at a South Beach gay bar after the Christmas party. I'm the one in the red. But the real karmic kickback was when I found out kind of accidentally that I was unfriended by my own brother. We hadn't been close in about 25 years since my father died, but we'd made tentative online reconciliation, and I thought it was going pretty well. And then I remembered that the last thing I wrote on his wall when he got engaged was that I wanted him to be a bridesmaid. So I went over to Twitter, and I asked God if he was listening. I knew he wasn't the real God, but I've been following him for a long time, so I just wanted to give him a shot. And there was a big silence. And in the quiet, I realized that it felt like what was happening to me was what people call karmic payback. So I went back to all those books I didn't read in college and looked up what it was. And a very short summary of the law of karma is that what goes around comes around. Your thoughts create your actions have consequences, and your consequences will determine what happens in the future. And karma happens through socialization from the minute you're born. Every interaction you have with family or friends or in the cultural world at large determines the emotional habits that you create. If some of them are unhealthy, you can get trapped in these karmic patterns. And unless you address them, you can't get out. But luckily, it's not a closed loop. With mindful thinking and good choices, you can make a change. And I decided that some of the issues that kept coming up for me on Facebook were opportunities to make a sea change. I had to let go of old grudges. I had to start acknowledging that where I had hurt people, I needed to make an apology. And so I sent letters of apology out to 2 specific people, acknowledging responsibility for the pain I'd caused them and asking for their forgiveness. And I can say that in both cases, it was absolutely worth it. Even though we hadn't spoken in many years, it was absolutely worth it. Unfortunately, not every bird will come back to the boat. I can't change how my brother experienced our painful childhood. I can only control how I behave. And so what I'm trying to do is be very thoughtful, to collect right wisdom and to make tentative steps in the universe about how I might act toward him, and hope that I can break him out of that karmic loop. So tomorrow, when you go back to your Facebook pages, maybe Barb will join. And all those people from high school send you a message. Consider it your opportunity to address these things that are still inside your heart. You can make an apology for people you've wronged, and you can ask people for an apology. And if we all act right, in right wisdom, the universe improves. Thank you.